Hey guys, how's everybody doing on their end? I'm Vernon Kid here, and guys, your alpha's here to finally, officially, after the big news that what Marvel brought to the dance, I'm here to kind of give my thoughts on the whole situation that came out of Hall H this past week in San Diego Comic-Con. The big one. The big news that is going all around the internet, and people are saying what they need to say, and there's some things that I don't like seeing people, but it's just like it's the internet, man. So look at the things that I don't. What I've seen and what I've seen on the internet is people. I seen it. I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody else seen it, but I've seen it. People calling for death to RDJ. Stop. Stop. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Okay, chill with that. I was gonna post these comments, but I said, you know what? They don't deserve to get posted, so I won't. But again, this is one of the issues that I have with our community. If they don't like it, the first thing they want to do now is start doing bodily harm to somebody or something that is just beyond stupid. I've seen this stuff enough when it comes to comics and guys that come to mind right off the bat in my head. Nick Spencer, when he was getting death threats from people about his story with Captain America, and they were like, yeah, why'd you make Cap a Hydra agent? You're spitting in the face of Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. I'm gonna kill you and stuff like you. That's a threat, and I don't care if you don't mean it, but you saying it, wrong. And that is why, once again, I constantly say it, and I'll say it again. The internet is a place where people think they could just say whatever they want and get away with it. I wish there was such as internet police that would look at those comments or whatever somebody does and saying, oh, I'm just expressing myself and that bullshit. No, you expressing yourself like that, that's a threat no matter what. And they should find you, get your IP right there and search you, come get you. Like, hey, no, chill with that. Okay, let's get that right out the way. I do not support that. You're a fool if you do. If you did that, to all the people that wrote those comments, you're fools. And you deserve an ass whooping. Pathetic. The big news that came out of Hall H, as we all know, is that Marvel and Kevin Feige announced that the next Avengers movies will be called. The first one is going to be called Avengers Doomsday, and the other is called Secret Wars. And for that, I think they're 2 years apart from each other. Doomsday is 2025, I believe, and Secret Wars is 2027. Okay. And the directors of both these two films are the Russos. The Russo brothers have returned. To direct. That made me happy to hear that, because for one, if you have been keeping up with the Russos, even after they left after Endgame, they constantly said in interviews and things like that, what would get them to come back if they could direct Secret Wars. They always talk about Secret Wars as being one of their favorite stories and events in Marvel, and they would love to direct that. I was happy for them when I heard that. I was like, I'm happy for you guys. You got to do it. Good for you. Good for you. But once you saw the title of Doomsday, instantly, well, we're just basically gonna toss Kang aside and run right into Dr. Doom. Yeah. Dr. Doom, the actor who was going to play Doom, was amongst them. And he comes out. He's in somewhat of a costume. He takes off the mask and reveals it's Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. The crowd goes wild. And the crowd goes wild. RDJ is returning to the MCU, which I heard rumors from reliable sources saying that, yeah, he's coming back in some shape or form. And they were right. He's back. And he's going to play Dr. Doom. And while the crowd was going wild, all that stuff, I'm to myself like excited, but I'm also now it's starting to. Scenarios are popping in my head, and I'm just like, okay, how are they going to do this? Is he playing Dr. Doom, or is he playing a variant of Tony Stark that becomes, because they're still dealing with the multiverse? So that was always thrown. As soon as when I saw that, then I'm thinking of avenues in the comics where this has happened, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that happened there. There was a story where Tony and Doom actually swapped bodies with each other and things like that. It was a what if story. This happened. There's an Earth where this actually does happen. There are variants, and I'm just like, okay, how's that? How I could see maybe where they're pulling, the source of where they're pulling this from. And of course, some were saying, okay, this feels like it's going to be more of a infamous Iron Man story and things like that. And I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. But after a day and thinking about it, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, how are you really feeling, Chris, about this? How are you really feeling? How is this? Is it bothering you to the point where you want to cause bodily harm to Mr. Robert Downey Jr.? No, it ain't bothering me that much. And once again, like I said earlier, for all those people that said that and said they want to do about, you're stupid. You're pathetic. Grow up. You're not a part of my geek community. Get out of here. The point about it is that when I let it settle in for a while, I realized that I am 50-50 at best on it. I even listened to the IGN correspondents talk about it. That's kind of how low I got for that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of this new lineup of IGN correspondents. To me, they come off fake. They don't come off legit as fans, and I don't believe a damn word that come out of any of their mouths. All the good ones left the company and went somewhere else, and you got what's left of them. No, I even listened to them, and I was just like, yeah, I've kind of lowered my standards. Just saying. But the fact of the matter is, look, guys, RDJ taking over, coming back as a villain, as the villain. Now, as you guys know, how many times have I said it over the course of the years? If you've been following me on this channel since day one, how many times have you heard me say, people ask me, who is your favorite villain in all comics? How many times have you heard me say Victor Von Doom, Dr. Doom? If you raise your hand and say all the time, you'd be right. I got contacted by many friends and saying to me, Chris, how do you feel about this? Oh, DMing me, hey, how do you feel about this? This is your boy. This is, even friends that I known since elementary school contact me that I stay in touch with, asking me, how do I feel about this? Dr. Doom, like, are you happy that he's coming? I'm like, yeah, I'm happy that he's coming. And, hearing those correspondents on IGN saying Dr. Doom should have been introduced in the Fantastic Four movie, and he could have been the secondary villain outside of Galactus. And you know what I say to that? Dr. Doom shouldn't be playing second fiddle to nobody. You're stupid, IGN. Get away from me. Take your nonsense away from me. Doom plays fiddle to nobody. None. Because if you were smart, IGN, you would know what Fantastic Four First Steps, that's what it's called, where they're pulling their ideas from, where they're pulling the story from. They're basically pulling this more from Fantastic Four life story. That's what they're pulling it from. I clearly see where they're pulling this from. Because in that story, Galactus, the big G, was the main antagonist in that. Not Doom. And he shouldn't be playing second fiddle to nobody. So, but having said that, I'm very optimistic about this. I'm not so skeptic about it. But the point is, Robert Downey Jr. said pretty much in his, he said, different mask, same task. And he talks about how he loves to play complicated characters. Okay. Cool comment. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it very much. But of course, there are going to be some very skeptics about it. Like, why did they do that? Like me. I'm one of them. That's gonna say, well, I'm not gonna say that. Sorry. I'm not gonna say that, but I am gonna say, why did they do that? Why did they feel the need to just jump to Dr. Doom so quickly? Why did they feel like they needed to do that when you kind of already was establishing that Kang was the big bad for this phase? Now, this is where I come back to. This is where that skepticism, and this is where that the detective in me is like, okay, Mr. Feige, and this is something I would address to them personally, is like, okay, riddle me this and explain to me this, guys. Why are you so willing to jump to Doom so quickly, and yet you didn't just take a step back and say, you know what? We started it with Kang, let's finish it with Kang. Let's just recast him. You're not going to bring Jonathan Majors back? Fine. Let's just recast him. Now, the reason why I say that is because how many appearances did Mr. Majors make as a variant of Kang? He first appeared in Loki, the end of season 2 of Loki, as a variant. And then we saw him again, another variant. The Kang that we were looking for, Kang of Conqueror, didn't debut until Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I thought Jonathan Majors was great as Kang. Even if they changed his race. That staying aside, I thought he was I thought he was good. So when his legal problems happened, I thought, okay, this could go somewhere. But I'm I'm hoping that Marvel will be sensible and realize, like, hey, okay, we just gotta recast them. And you can't tell me there weren't plenty of actors, plenty of, if you wanted to keep them still black, plenty of African American actors that could have played this role, could have taken up the slack of the role. There was I could name about 8 right now, but I'm not going to. The point about it is just like you, and the reason why I say this is right, and listen, here it is, listen to this. The reason why I say that is because you recasted Rhodey. And how many movies did Terrence Howard do before he was recasted as Rhodey? He only did 1. Don Cheadle came in his next appearance, which was Iron Man 2. You recasted Bruce Banner, the Hulk, from Ed Norton to Mark Ruffalo. How many movies did Ed Norton do before recasting? 1. You see where I'm going at with that? You recasted William Hurt as Thunderbolt Ross, and we're now going to have him being played by Harrison Ford. How many movies did Mr. Hurt do before he passed away as Ross, before they recast it? I believe it's 4. Correct me on that. Incredible Hulk, both the Avengers, Captain America. I believe that's when he he was reintroduced as now Secretary of State. And then of course Avengers, and then Black Widow, he was in that. 4, I believe. Okay. But still, you recasted him. You recasted that character. What was stopping you from recasting Kang? What was stopping you from that? That's where the detective in me is trying to figure that out. Like, why? Why didn't y'all just finish what you started? That's my motto. Finish what you started. Don't stop it now. Finish it. Finish it. But they didn't. They went now with Doom. And now Doom is going to pick up the slack of where Kang was supposed to finish. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't have introduced Doom in Secret Wars. They could have definitely. And now more and more, now I definitely believe that the Secret Wars is definitely going to adapt Jonathan Hickman's Secret War even more than I did before. But now we have Robert Downey playing this role. And I will say this. I think it was O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, who posted it on his Twitter, his X account, whatever, and said, y'all should be happy, or as long, basically about Robert Downey playing, because if he'd have been casted as Kang, he could have looked like this, and they showed him when he was in Tropic Thunder. And I'm just like, and then I saw a buddy of mine comment and said, if they had announced that he was coming back as Kang, they said they would have been down for that without the blackface and stuff. No, just as himself, because Kang's white, to agree. So they would have been cool with that. But, and that was supposed to be a good laugh. And it did make me laugh. It made me laugh. But at the same time, I am very optimistic about it. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not hating it, but I'm 50-50 on it, because I'm like, okay, who is he playing? That's the biggest question. Is he playing Doom? Is he playing Victor Von Doom? Or is he just playing a variant of Tony Stark that became Doom? Similar to how in the new Ultimate Universe, there's a Doom in that universe, but it ain't Victor Von Doom, it's Reed Richards. And things like that. So yeah, I'm wondering that. that he's calling himself Doom, Dr. Doom, because something happened to him. He snapped, or this happened to him, and he found himself playing the hero long enough, too long, and as that old saying, you play the hero. You know, I can't remember the the Harvey Dent line from Dark Knight. You can probably comply to this. But the main point about it is, guys, is that at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. And that's why I tell everybody, keep an open mind a little bit. Just keep an open mind. We need more structure in terms of what is going to happen. And hopefully over the course of the year to come, and this year and following, before even Doomsday starts even shooting in production, we will get more in sense of, okay, what this is. Is this a Doom, a variant, or is he playing Victor Von Doom? Because if he's playing Victor Von Doom, I will probably be very upset. I will be upset. I'll be like, no, why is he, no. The question is, do I think Robert can knock it out of the park as a villain? I think he can. I think he can. Somebody ever said, well, he got his Oscar, so now he could just chillax and do whatever he wants. Stop looking at it like that. Forget the Oscar. Forget the award stuff. Stop that. Because if you've been following him, he always said he would have no problem returning. He said it in many times that he would love to come back if the time was right. I guess the time was right, and of course the money. I read the comments of how much the Russos are getting paid to direct, these two movies, and how much supposedly Mr. Downey Jr. is getting paid to do this. But then you started seeing a lot of memes coming up where other actors from MCU, like I saw one where they said, and it was announced today that Scarlett Johansson will be returning as Jean Grey in the MCU. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. The point is, I'm very optimistic. It's 50-50 for me at best. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily hate it. I damn sure don't want. I ain't wishing death upon Mr. Robert Downey Jr. because I'm not one of those idiots out there. Yeah, I'm talking to you idiots that are saying that, going online talking about, yeah, I hope he gets hit by. Just the stupidest shit that comes out of your mouths is so ridiculous. Pisses me off. Cut. I'm done with that. But I'm very open to it, and I think it can be good because a part of me is looking at it from a point of view of like, well, he kind of is the one that started. He's one of the foundations of the MCU. He started it. So it's cool to see him as the hero in the beginning, and then now he's back, and it culminates to him being a villain. Kind of poetic when you think about it, right? You think about it like that. But it's going to be very interesting to see whatever form of the Avengers are taken, and he may remove his mask or so, and they show him, like, could you imagine what that's going to be like for like Peter when he sees that, like, what, like, and I'm hoping that his face is all mangled and stuff, like he does not look like Tony, like he's just different. But my biggest fear, is that he is playing Victor Von Doom, and if he is, that's where I will have, like, I'm like, ooh, now I'm a little more jaded, like, no. But if he's not, then there's still the opportunity to bring in the real Dr. Doom. The real Dr. Doom. Because still to this day, I feel like Secret Wars is going to be the basically reset. And almost like a semi-reboot. Like, okay, this is how we incorporate all the characters into one world now. And we don't have to kind of explain like, okay, this is, okay, this is here, this is, where were they during this time? Because it's always been that way for me. Like when they incorporate new characters into the MCU, I'm always like, okay, where were they during the Battle of New York and all that stuff, all the big events that happened that built up the MCU? Where were they? So I'm fine, because you can't keep doing a period piece and say, okay, this is where they were here, and then they disappeared, or they got trapped somewhere during this time. Now they're back. That's how I feel. But I'm very open-minded. I'm very optimistic about it. I'm 50-50 at best. I'm going to let this play out more. I'm not going to jump down Marvel's throat and saying, Marvel, you should have casted Gillian Murphy, or Marvel, you should have, this is the Dr.Doom that should have been Mad Mikkelsen. Why don't you bring Mad Mikkelsen back? I would agree. Why don't you bring him back? He played a character only true Doctor Strange fans know who he played, and he's gone now. And it's not wild that actors from Marvel have played different characters and come back. No, it's not. There's been a couple of them. The actress who played Cersei's in the Eternals, she played a different character before playing Cersei. So yeah, I wouldn't mind. I'm just saying that it's not out of the grain that they did this, but this is probably the biggest of recasting, and it's probably the biggest, and it's the biggest in terms of the actor, it's biggest of the character, because we're talking Dr. Doom, one of Marvel's big bads, one of Marvel's most recognizable villains. Everybody, you ain't even got to be a comic fan. You know who that guy is. Who's the guy with the green cloak and the armor around? Even if you're just a gamer, Doom has been in many games, so everybody knows Dr. Victor Von Doom. But I'm optimistic, guys. I'm very optimistic about it. I do feel that they could have continued where they were, just recasting Kang, finishing Kang. Now it just that they just get out. Unless they showcase that, unless they do something like it was gonna be Kang and Victor comes in and kills him off, and then you're not worthy or anything like that. That would be somewhat of like, okay, I can understand it, but we're just supposed to forget about him. That's where I'm having a rough time with it, because I didn't forget about him. I'm sorry that what happened with Mr. Majors, but yeah, it's didn't mean you have to just wipe out his character. Anyway, guys, that's my complete thought on the announcement and the feelings on Robert Downey Jr. playing Dr. Doom. Until otherwise, I'm just going to call him Dr. Doom. Until I start reading from reliable sources that he is playing Victor Von Doom, then I won't say anything. But outside of that, that's how I feel. And if you have a problem with what I said, I don't care. That's your problem. I gave you my opinion. My opinion. If you have your own opinion, leave it in the comment section down below. Let's talk. Let's get into it. I'll listen to you respectfully if you respect my opinion. What I won't do is disrespect you. But if you come at this in a way that I read your comment and it's just pure like, okay, he's just, no, I won't even respond. You're not even going to get, I won't get a response from me, because I've already seen nonsense already. I've already seen the bull. I've already seen the crap. What did I just say in the beginning? I already seen that garbage. I don't need that here. I don't want it here. If I see that here, your comment's getting deleted real quick. But if you are feeling jaded, like to a degree I am, let's talk. Guys, I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. Please be respectful in the comment section down below. Please be honest. I don't need no filters in terms of you just repeating what everybody else said. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinion on it. Don't just follow with what somebody else said. Don't be sheep. Give me your opinion. I'm 50-50. I'm right there on the line. I step to the left, I could be very negative and skeptic about it. I step to the right, this is just nothing but optimism. Like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see where this goes, because that's really my balance is stepping to the right, or as it is. It's balancing more to the right, where let's see where this goes, because we don't have nothing but casting. We haven't seen anything from story to anything. And I'm gonna end it with that. And with that being said, guys, you guys take care. This was my honest opinion on the casting of Dr. Doom. And I'm looking forward to hearing yours. What's your opinion? But with that being said, this is M.V.K Kid, your Alpha, bidding you peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, as always. I will see you guys next time. Deuces. Take care, guys.